All right, good morning, everybody. We're back again. Thank you for joining me again right here in downtown Long Beach for our part 7 of our walking tour of the historic older parts, or what's left of them, of downtown Long Beach. We're right here today, right on the corner of Ocean Boulevard and Magnolia. So we're going to start heading east. We're going to head towards dead center. We're going to head towards Pine Avenue, dead center of the older part of downtown Long Beach, for a very interesting tour this time in part 7, as we investigate and check out the older historic buildings that are still left if you know where to look. So we'll be right back. All right, so before we get there, we're just going to take a walk. Happens to be we're here in the area of the brand new Long Beach Civic Center Plaza. It's actually pretty impressive, built on the site of the old Long Beach courthouse. Let's just go ahead and take a quick peek before we head on our journey towards the center of the older part of historic downtown Long Beach, and that would be Pine Avenue. Now I shoot these videos, this is when I go on my walks and stuff. These are just normal 45-minute walks. And encouraging you, your family, your friends, your girlfriend, your partner, whatever, your wife, husband, to maybe get off that couch like we all do, and take in some of the beautiful sights right here in the center of your beautiful city. That right there's the brand new Long Beach City Hall. I'm not sure, I think this is the Port Authority. Brand new building. So as we leave this beautiful plaza area of this brand new Long Beach Civic Center, it reveals to us the skyline of where we're going today. And we're heading that way. We'll walk north along where the camera's moving, along historic Pine Avenue. So let's head on over there. Here's an interesting shot. Before we go, we just left the brand new Long Beach Civic Center Plaza or complex. Right across the street here, directly to his east, is the old site where that real tall ugly concrete Long Beach City Hall building once stood. Used to rise way up there. All that's left now is just a big hole in the ground. But to those of you who've always wondered, who live in Long Beach and stuff, and always wondered, was there a big underground complex at the old original Long Beach City Hall complex? The answer is yes, and you can see parts of it right there. And there's still parts to it, if you know where to look. All right, so as we're making our way towards Pine Avenue, we're walking by the brand new replacement library for the old one that was here for many years. This apparently, I just read the sign right now, is the Billie Jean King Public Library, the big main public library right here in downtown Long Beach. Reason why I wanted to show you guys this real quick, it's a beautiful building. Obviously, new construction. But let's go ahead and check out some of these original plaques. But I want you to see this stonework that is still here from when the old original building for the original library way back in the day was here. This was a gift of Andrew Carnegie back in 1908. That's 1908. Beautiful piece of history. And a big shout out to Billie Jean King as she gets the main library named after her. We've probably seen these a million times as we drive by or walk by or pass by. Never stop to actually look to read what these two items actually say. Okay, so we're back. We're right here on the corner. We're on the southeast corner of Pine Avenue and 3rd Street. And how you know you're here is with this next shot. The beautiful and in original condition Farmers Merchants Bank building. What I love about this particular shot right here, although this is an overall wide view of looking south on Pine towards the ocean. If you zoom in closer, you'll see probably how this street used to look way back in the day, because there's plenty of original buildings still standing in this shot right here. Just kind of have to know where to look. Beautiful shot. Old mixed in with the new, or new mixed in with the old. Now we did shoot this building here from the south side, and we actually got to speak with the owner, who gave us a lot of information, neat information on his building here. Why I brought you here as we walk southbound down Pine Street is, now I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but what I heard was this particular building we're looking at right here on the southwest corner of Broadway and Pine. This particular building right here, and actually there's two buildings here, but from what I gathered, one video I saw on YouTube last night, let's wait for this van to get out of the way. Okay, so what I saw on that video last night is I was just goofing around on YouTube. There's plenty of very interesting historical videos on YouTube. Actually, there's a bunch of them filmed by fellow YouTubers as they cover very interesting areas of Long Beach, forgotten areas people didn't know. Check them out when you guys get a chance if you're looking to enhance your walking tours. But according to what I picked up, this was the old Bufham's department store building. Like I said, this is on the southwest corner of Broadway and Pine. This was the old Bufham's department store building. And apparently this was this is the high-end portion of Pine Avenue. And in this shot, we capture 3 older buildings, with the Breakers Hotel way off in the background there to the left of our screen. Look at that majestic brick building in the background. All right, let's Here we are on Pine Avenue, just slightly north of Broadway. Got some real cool things I want to share with you guys. So first of all is this building here. It's one of the older original ones that is kind of still mixed in with all the new modern construction. Now this building has been retrofitted for earthquakes, and basically what they do is they come in with I-beams, and inside the building they build, as if it had been original construction, the I-beam box inside the building, and then reinforce the walls and stuff so it doesn't come down in case of a big earthquake. And you'll be able to see certain areas where you could see the telltale signs of construction. Anyways, this building's one of my favorites. This still has its pauses for it's beautiful little tile threshold. And there's one of the beams that we talked about when they go ahead and retrofit these old buildings. Look at the massive size of this beam. And that'll go up all the way to the top, and they do that all the way around, essentially building a steel box of I-beams inside the building. The Altar Society Brewing Company. But why I wanted to show you this building, once again, some more of that real cool tiny tile threshold pattern. A couple of the stones here, the cornerstones, still have some stampings or some engraving. This is the Z Gallery, established in 1995. That's more newer. But if we look, look at the size of that I-beam right there. That goes all the way to the top. And then there'll be another one coming down right here. And on this cornerstone is the original engraving. So this is this stone laid by masons. This stone laid by the M.W. Grand Lodge, which is a Mason's Lodge. Looks like some of it's been chipped away, but it looks like August 5th, 1903. Hold on a second.
How are you doing today?
So like I said, M.W. Grand Lodge, E and AM. I don't know what that means, but August 5th, 1903. 1903. So we'll go ahead and keep heading north on Pine as we leave this beautiful little picturesque intersection of the corner of Pine and Broadway. Okay, so now we're in front of the Farmers Merchants Bank. It's beautiful grand entrance. Now we're going to be doing a video. We're going to cover this particular bank building in its own episode in the not too far off future, because this particular bank building has some interesting Hollywood history. Here we are southbound, looking southbound on Pine towards the beach or the ocean. So we'll come back and we're going to dedicate an entire episode, its own episode, to this Farmers and Merchants Bank building at a later date. Let's keep walking. So at first glance, it looks like this was the heart of downtown Long Beach's shopping district or commerce center for the community here in this part of Long Beach for many, many years, as you can tell through the redevelopment and development of new housing and new construction projects, and tearing down the old and building some new stuff. A lot of it has lost its original luster. But in this particular corner here, we're on the corner of 4th Street and Pine. A lot of history here. Let's go ahead and cover that. What we got right now. So we're northbound on Pine Avenue at the corner of Pine and 4th. So go ahead and do some coverage. Be right back. So right here in the intersection of Pine and 4th, on the southwest corner, sits the original Woolworth department store. You could still see parts of the building with the Woolworth motif to it, including that large banner in the middle and the sign over here on top. Because this was a Woolworth department store once upon a time, that means there is a basement here, and I know for a fact there is. This is now Planet Fitness Gym. But this particular building has a connection with the Farmers Bank building that we shot right behind those trees. Hollywood connection, which we'll delve into a few episodes down the road. Also immediately to the north of the Woolworth department store building is what they call the Walker building. Now evidently the Farmers Merchants Bank, either it's family run or there's been a lineage of a Walker family as being its presidents from little bits and pieces I remember. This particular building, which is kind of across the street, catty corner just slightly north of the Farmers Merchants Bank building, is actually called the Walker building. Large, stately, it is an apartment building. I guess it was a store with storage on top, and now they're beautiful studio lofts upstairs and stuff. There are some videos on YouTube with footage of today's modern Walker building, where guys actually got to go inside there, do some filming. So in this shot here, I'm going to do a panoramic shot, but I wanted to go ahead and cover this particular building, which is where we were shooting the Woolworth department store building from. And that's an actual original, what was that bank, chain of banks, home loans. But they had these big stately bank buildings all over Southern California that I remember. Home loans, remember off the top of my head, but this building has been converted to a gym. Now I don't know what it is. Several different uses, and you can see the Farmers and Merchants Bank building right there in the background. This is a wonderful, wonderful, very picturesque intersection of the historic part of downtown Long Beach. And once again with the picturesque Walker building and its prominent place on the intersection of Pine and 4th Street. This right here is an interesting shot because as we panned away from the historic Pine Avenue sign, which spans the entire width of this street here, you could see way off in the distance some original signage, which is where we're heading to right now. You can barely make out where it says Crest Lofts, and Crest being the Crest department store, which was the rival to Woolworths. Let's keep checking it out. All right, and as we work our way towards Fifth Avenue, which is, Fifth Street, which is right there. This is another one of those very picturesque intersections, like the one we just left. This is the Crest building, and she's absolutely beautiful. I'm sure the original signage up on the roof, the one that says Crest 5, 10, and 25-cent store, is repainted, but it's probably repainted over the original signage. We're now at the corner of 5th Street and Pine Avenue. It's another historic old building, which I want to get on video for you guys. And that would be this building right here. Now, I have no clue up to right now, as of today's date, what this building was originally. It has a flavor of a bank building. I could be wrong, but let's enjoy it for what it is. It's right here on the northwest corner of Pine and 5th Avenue. Let's check it out up close. Just has that sort of bank motif to it. Once again, the Crest building in the background there, or to our left. And that bank type looking building right across the street on the northwest corner. So as we start walking north on Pine towards 6th Street, we come across this beautiful, beautiful retro building here. So she's got a cool little alleyway. So let's go check it out, see what there is down this little alleyway. you guys are looking for a stainless steel door for your refrigerator, there's one right here if you need one. All right, we're at the corner of 6th Street and Pine Avenue. And look what we got here. Another beautiful original construction, a beautiful stately old building. I'm just barely noticing this right now. Complete with its flagpole, which looks like it hasn't been used in a while. Sits on the northwest corner of Pine and 6th Street. With its tall windows. The view inside this building must have been just beautiful. And of course, it's mandatory in Southern California, palm tree. Okay, same intersection on the northeast side. You're going to find this beautiful large building that kind of makes you think, is this old retro original construction, or is this a newer building built to look like old construction? The correct answer is the first one. This was the original Press Telegram newspaper for right here in Long Beach building. This was their headquarters where they had all the printing presses and stuff. And how I know is one of my neighbors worked here and retired from here, from the Press Telegram newspaper, Long Beach, California. So we'll continue our walk northbound on Pine Avenue, heading towards 7th Street. Here's two buildings that are crunched up or wedged in between these two, kind of like a bookshelf with bookends. I love these two older buildings. And that's the kind of stuff we love looking at right here on the Florentino Rebuilding Company YouTube channel. And like always, the original purpose of these videos is just my fascination with old construction, just kind of butting up against new modern construction. Kind of like a last stand, its final battle. It's right for existence in the city, in the history of Long Beach, California. So this has a little side alley also that we can walk through. Let's go ahead and walk on over there and see what kind of interesting stuff we can find. Famous department store is what that sign right there says. And once again, we come out to the Long Beach Press Telegram building. Okay, so we're on the corner of 7th Street and Pine. We are facing into the sun, unfortunately, for this shot, as we leave the the late Press Telegram newspaper, Long Beach, California complex. And we're gonna finish our video with one last shot. It's probably one of my favorite buildings, little cute building in the downtown Long Beach area. And that would be a final shot. We'll end the video right about here of one of my favorite, cutest little buildings in Long Beach, California, the downtown area. And that's this little tiny, I've seen it as a steakhouse. I think I've seen it as selling hamburgers. I don't remember throughout the years. We passed by these buildings and locales and locations for years and years and years, never knowing what's actually there. But being Southern California and being Mexican American, born and raised here, grew up my whole life. This little building, which I adore, I should buy it when I retire from my job. If it's still available, I should buy it, because this could only be either a hot dog stand or a taco stand, period. No sushi, no Starbucks, nothing like that. This little adorable building can only be in Southern California, a hot dog stand or a taco stand. And you never know, it might be the Florentino Rebuilding Company tacos and hot dog stand one of these days. Let's go check it out real quick. We'll end the video and then we're gonna do a part 2 to this video. Not a part 2, but it will be its own standing episode. That would be probably part 8. I'm not sure. We'll try and break up these videos. Maybe we'll do a residential one again. But let's go check out this adorable little hot dog stand. Actually, let's do it now. It's vacant right now. It's probably up for lease. Looks like they tried to turn it into some sort of little steakhouse. And there's actually 2 of these pretty much close together right here in downtown Long Beach. We'll cover the second one in another video. But what else could this place be? She's tiny. She's adorable. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this part 7 of our historic walk, of our walking tour through the historic part of downtown Long Beach. You all have an amazing rest of your week, but most importantly, you all have a blessed rest of your week. Y'all take care. Bye.